Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. This is part 2 of a series on adding double stops into your playing. If you haven't seen part 1, we've been working on using open strings, like the open D and A and E, and G and D, sort of in those pairs of 2. There's a lesson on that over at mandolessons.com. Again, it's a lesson on double stops. It's going to be called part 1, so look over there if you haven't seen that already. And in this lesson, we're going to use the same tune. We've been working on Flop-Eared Mule, and we're going to use Flop-Eared Mule again. And I'm going to show you just a couple different little spots where you can throw in something besides an open set of strings. So I'll play through the tune once with some of what I'm going to be working on, and then I'll break out into specific places to add in other strings. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Through the tune there. So it's mostly what we were doing in the last lesson. I throw in something right at the beginning of the A part. Sounds like this. So the melody is going. So those first two notes, 2nd fret on the E string and 5th fret on the A string, kind of create their little chord of their own. So you have this, using that 5th fret on the A string as a drone. And so that's a D note. So in the first lesson on double stops, we were using open D and open A. So you could just strum right through them all. And this is just adding in that 5th fret a little bit early. It's another D note, so rather than having D and A as your drones, you're just using this one D. It's a little more focused, and you can do this nice thing where you slide into them. So I'm sliding from the 1st fret on the E string and the 4th fret on the A string, and you can kind of slide up. So let's try that a couple times. So that's really the only thing that I'm changing in the A part. So from there on, we're using those open D and A strings. And again, you can add a little slide at the end there. From the 2nd to the 4th. Back to the open. And with that A string ringing, it kind of creates that nice sound. So let's do that one more time and then move on to the B section. So we have... So that little shape, just to think about this a little bit more, you're going to end up running into that shape a lot the more you play. It kind of shows up everywhere. So right there, it's kind of a D shape with a D and an F sharp. And if you move that to the middle sets of strings, you get a G and a B, which becomes a little part of a G chord. So you could also play, if you played the same melody, just sort of starting on the A string rather than starting on the E string, you get... And that's playing the tune in the key of G. Same fingering, just starting on different strings. And if we had a lower string, we could even go over to the G and D strings, where that's actually a C shape. So we have a C and an E, 5th fret and the 2nd fret. So right there you've got 3 common chords. You have a D chord with the D on the A string, 5th fret, 2nd fret on the E string, D shape. The middle 2 sets of strings, that's sort of a G double stop, 5th and 2nd, same finger shape. And then move it over one more to your lowest sets of strings on the G and D strings. You have a C and an E, which makes a C shape. So that's a nice little movable shape, and you can even move it up as long as you kind of keep your fingers in the same position. Works everywhere. So let's move on to the B section now, though. And what I'm doing is I'm adding in. So the first time in the previous lesson, we were just using the open A and E strings. And what we can do is, so those strings open are A and E, so we can find those notes on the 2nd fret of the lower strings. So we have 2nd fret of the G is an A, and 2nd fret of the D string is an E. So you can grab those. I can grab them with 2 fingers. The way that I sort of aim for that is, I've talked about this in different lessons, but I'm kind of aiming between, for the lower D string, or sorry, the lower G string, and the higher towards my head of the D string. So the G string closer to my feet and the D string closer to my head, kind of the middle 2 strings. Just kind of aim for that with the middle of your pointer finger, and you can mostly get both of them that way. And it takes a little bit of working with your hand to figure out how not to get any buzzes, but it's a worthwhile project, because then it allows you to do stuff like this. So rather than going sound, it's a little it's on the higher end. It's a little higher in pitch. And if you really want to add some beef to the bottom end of that, we can do what I was doing in the example, where you go. So what I've got there is A and E strings, and then big chord of 2-2 open open. And then back to just the A and E strings. And then that big chord again. And I've got that slide in there. 3-4 open, with the open E string above it. So we have again, and there you have it. So that adds a lot of sort of bass to your B part of that tune. That's all for now. There'll be more in this series, but I just wanted to throw a couple more finger shapes at you. So I'll play it one more time, and then send you on your way. And look out for lesson 3 in the double stop series. So one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.